le sa tatou fsilafai ula le newa tatou lolo fsilafai I lona alofa malananga lei le o mawhaina tatou toe whawaolisi tatou pokalame o sports Talanoa ia whatalofa tulupa ia maulunga Samoa lo whapena mau mene whasau launga I tawhai fia nelo langi ia whatalofa atu ma le anganga tu mo le whaloalo ia I leo mai ni tu whatalofa atu I toa manu po lupe whaalele fo I le tatou atunu I le whaanga tama o lakapi ia la whionga ngai a tole a fo Andy Eolupo ia whapea fo le whionga ia o mua to o vaenga ia ma le whionga fo ia Eolupo tea officer junior tanu ia ma lole sui fo lang mamalu I o ko whionga
ia whamalo fui ma ko lau sunga fui ia po lau whionga fo li pule ia me se fui whafonga anga mai mo mai sa mo ngi whapoponga fo ni sports no po kalame whanga solong e ui lau whionga lolo wa ia tau ngi ia soli ia e lolo whal ia tua e longa anga lei fo ia mai fo ia to so I fo mal ka to ola e ka ko ngai fo ka ko fa mo ngi ia so ka ngoi nga fo ia I ngo ka longa ia ma ka longa manga alon fa na wa Samoa
e malanga manguia lo whionga o mua la ko le la ko la ko le vasa ia le li ka ko e fa sopo melo so I fo ngi ka o fo
ia so fo manguia so fo mo malanga mai lo whionga nga fkasi mo ia me se fo pa ia ka ko po kalame ka taro fo foi lo tapo inga Samoa ia le fo ka ko e felo ia I le lo fo malanga le ia so fo manguia
to my brother with the evengi cap kia ora tana koutou Maro se po lango maro whionga I lupa tea.
Kapai. Fui, yeah, talofa lava, yeah, malo lava soifua. Langi mama, it's good to see you back, welcome back. Also, Moa has been busy and I hope everything went well in Australia. Yeah, I see Turia 4, it's looking good, sharp as always, and it's the last show here in this wonderful place. It has many stories, I say, through the years, and it's sad, but like when one door closes, another one opens. So looking forward to the new opportunities that are going to come in the new building, and but it's a nice time to reminisce in the last show here in this building, and I'm sure you've had a lot of nice memories here. And so not so nice maybe.
Ia whasau vore sa nganga le whionga e lupo te officer junior tonu tonu fo o whaiva ese velo pepe ne aso. Ia o le toe tāle o le toe aso le mo a to siri tanga I mai. Ia o le toe I mako background ngai mo TV ma ia luri. Ia ala o tu me ale lauko ngai ei le matanga le nei whale na matu whapena matu move mai ei I le lua whelua tasi. 2021. So those of you guys are joining us, kia ora, talofa lava. Welcome to another episode here at Sports Talanoa. Great to be here. This is unfortunately our last show here in this old building, and this time next week we'll be over at the new building. But it's kind of an emotional day, emotional week, moving stuff from here to the new building. A lot of memories here. This is where the Sports Talanoa was formed, on this very table. It's also the first time we met, like we got to know in person la whionga ia tole fo whape fo ia la whionga ia o mua, e mo ia la ngoa sofa makai, but we were warmed in their original names, To'o Vaenga and Andy. So it was like here that we met them. We had the first episode 3 years ago. Yeah. So it's been a journey. Went to Hong Kong. That was another memory. But yeah, Manu.
Yeah, it's all Leia. Yeah, fui. Yeah, mai fui. Samoa po fia lava le mai mai ia ne fui fa pongo sports yeah. A kongo e lo mai lungo le mai mai swinga ia longo na fo o ngingo fo e FIFA so I fo ile lo fo le ko fui ile ka fenga malanga wa so se me la vai le fengo fie le makanga menga o ka fa ma ponga ma ka wasa inga mai fo yo le o va fili ile nge foi me le lungo le fengo ka ko po kala me ma fa ka singa ia ma ele fengo fie lo se fie le ko me se moi o ke lo whenga luenga ma fans fo i kako sports al kako Blue TV i lai makanga menga o kau fofou o kako po kalame fo le ma kako TV ia le whenga fi ke le fo i ka i ka sanga i kai pe a mea ia ngei lawa le kolu pe lu fe kau sanga ma fukai a le pe di me kau sanga kalunga whaile ia le Blue TV ia ngei lava o lo alu ma le fōlinga mai o le alofo le tua le whakilinga ngai ngi sunga ia le wala kako siki aku i le singo whanga fō ia le mau kua mai ia pe o swinga ia o le o sei whanga whima lo langa ma le whamangaku me wea kako ia lo whale tu i le kai me whanga mo le hanga ilu ma whai whai wala unga leo kako ia ma whamu mo lo whionga fui ma le Blue TV e eisi wala au e whaile o nganga mo sa mo ma lo langi ma le kungu iso se mea lama ia fo ia di inga ia kei
Alo. Ke le lava memories a mese koe mama le whionga ngi au mua. E ve vese mea le tau te ia e luma me le pokole luma ala e whai maria ka koe koe. Karangoanga o ka anō. Ia. A kongoa le whafsilia ia. What were your thoughts on the tō Samoa? O le koku whakasingi ma se kasi o sui o le tō Samoa. Ia. Sauske bia ngā whionga le lunga ka kupokalame. Ai le whai me pesko mangako.
Ia, pareia, whaftai fui. E mana e fui ia le kako whai fui, man kako feedback fui wai le whapehua le kuso pawan me mua whamalo i alam whangau ma se fui ia i la tō lo whapena le pūlenga o le management matuna whapena. Ala wau ia, o la wau ia au kilo iei ma sa wau fui ia honest opinion fui ngani. Wa kele ia Mr. Keynes e le kiwi la runners. Ai kuainga move up ka ko fo le shutdown ile space lenga ai runner fo la ka ko ile kele ka ko meters nga ke va ve kele nga shutdown ka ko kiwi so la wa ule opinions honest opinion fo ngani ai kasia kamale ma singa wa ku ko polo so le run here kamanga e kele la ka ko meters nga ke ne kamale ama ai kele le so le longa Pei lao le o la unga ia ki kilo fo ngale ye wa live ka ko le kele o mitas wa ke ne kiwi ia ai o ka longa la ko ia ko ma ia nga ka ko lo fo ngai opportunity sa ia nga misi ka ko le fam polo le mo le polo score ia le lenga la ko lo ki lia mo le ngai score ka ko a ma ia ka lo io
Officer.
Yeah, I think I agree with To'o and the line speed. Just looking at some of the highlights. Firstly, I just want to acknowledge the Fitu team. First, they played the curtain raiser. Yeah. I thought they were amazing. I thought they played a great game, and they were just maybe a penalty or short, getting up 20-0 at half time, and not just having that last, killer punch to put them away. If they just scored just after half, I'm sure it would have been a different story, but we let them back in just by maybe just basic mistakes, and I think maybe a bit of fatigue and tiredness come in, and but it was and I'm really proud of those girls, and the support behind down at Mount Smart Stadium was amazing. And then that set the standard really nicely for the second game, which is the Tō Samoa against the Kiwis. You can always tell players when they're coming out of the tunnel by their game face, if they're ready. And that Tō Samoa team was ready. Both teams were ready, actually. The Fitu team, you could see they were there to win. They were going to win. They were going to beat the Kiwis in both teams. Unfortunately, they were a bit short, and only because, and if it was to be super critical, you could see the difference between the Payne Haasas that are playing at the very top level, and the other ones are just a little couple of clicks underneath. Those tries that the Kiwis have scored only just on defensive, and it was just that slight timing that was off. Yet you'll see Payne Haas the whole time was just, we had injury to Vanga early in the game. That means that we lost that extra interchange, and then we lost the second one from the bench. So Payne Haas played the full 80. So that in itself adds pressure to the team, because that's where we needed them at the end, but we weren't able to give them a bit of a break. But to say that, Denny would have got that short ball 9 times out of 10, and would have been underneath the post. And it's the cruelty of sport that the next scrum the Kiwis had, they went up, kicked ball, and then they scored short of the line. I thought it was short of the line, underneath the post. But, you know, that's the fighting spirit of the Kiwis as well. So, you know, it was two teams full of warriors that were playing to their maximum. But I just think that we just missed, you know, we just missed a little beat there. But they'll certainly be better for it. And, you know, looking forward to this weekend. But there was really nothing in it. Really, nothing in it. And they should be proud of their performance of both teams.
Ia sa lei ia sa ngā whau mga ngā ia sa ole whamalo kwa I au umelua I le mōmua le au kamaikai I tu Samoa ma ia lako kamwhai ma ia fwoi lako whingau ia o mea whapenge ia wa o ko keila lako professional players umangi ia kengi makama po team so la o lako maluna ma mai vanga uma ia e pauan me iris kemi fwoi le ia kemi kau e kau iele me misi kai pela ia wa los full point ia ainga mo le first half le mas ainga mo second half of tu Samoa pusala pe ku nga me fa penga il controlling ia malva vai managing al kai ia me se vol score po no me no nga sa wele ele se senga au ma me fa penga ki kilo e ka alo e fu ala vai lungo me la ka ki luma ia me se vol ol vai kai mi wa ka au uma ia factors vol le wala ku langa la kam ia me fa malo ko ia manga io le ka longa a kamai kai fo ia o mai la ia ka longa tsa samu ia pe vo sa ngo titi ia ma mo ia ka ia mo nga mo li fa ka ke le la ke kong fo io le la ngona vo lo so sa mo la vai fe lo lang mai mo inga ia ka longa a tsa samu ia fa pe vo kiwi il commitment ka mai ki man la ko ka mo fai pe ang fa ya ko ka mai ki mangi kiwi pop a kiwi and to Samoa professional players uma ai on the day o nga la e lo ai le kulanga me pe ang fa yo le fiki me vol polo ya ka ko o le we didn't get the pass of the ball il la sole ya e kulanga me ya e le mole mo fa sa un ya ko ka ko mo World Cup pa pe next year ia kwa le lava ia le ka pe nganga ma sa ke lo vo lawa ki kilo fa ya onga ya me se fa players e fa ka ke le lava ya lo vo fa nga o Samoa mo fo inga la ko kai mi ma la ko wa ngo e ka ku ai ka ko au ke le e fo ya lo Samoa e ku e o ki wi pe ka lo vo le ile au Australia ia lo wa fo inga la ko wa ngo e ka ku ai ile au to Samoa so ia o me mai e ka ki kilo mai ma be ka ko fa malo a pe sa ngo ia e cheti sto mai ska mai me nga mis just a little bit of
game of inches
it could have gone either way il kulang o kalonga ai al komin makamaki ma sa leia a wa ke le ole se sengo le mea o wa ko kalonga pinas ai o la ve ia mariota ia wa ke lo inga vo la ia wa o kamala po ia il ke me mo isinga koma ko wa kulo por last 20 minutes por la ia le o mai fongo ka lo full 80 minutes is kama pinas but anyway ile wa ko mo le ko fa malo le il management fa pe il fa ya nga mala ko mala vasta kam fa ya ku fa ka single ka ko aus ke pupo ye le vinka ko fe lo ai makal ngo malu so ya la waki all away from you we so avela nga ia fa ka ku mala nga ia fo ma ko ka pinga ka ko au ka o ma me fa tenge ye le langa reflect me ngo I ka lo me ko ngoi ka ol malolo fa ko mari ka ki la nga fi ngaulo right to last minute fo le ka lo nga fi ngau ka lo so le mol ke le ko fa feke
ia o te lo o le tele sa to talonga ngai le talonga le to Samoa fa pe fu Samoa pe a fio me le fio ngai pai tele I le tato second segment o le si talonga fia talonga ia lo JT o le talonga le under 17 a Samoa le na ta alo I ma Canada this morning the senior soccer team so just a recent update Canada beat Samoa 6-0. But man, you know, having our women's team in there and you know the under 17, that's a milestone in itself, especially more Samoa.
I don't think you realise how. This is the FIFA tournament in Morocco, and it's big. Like a lot of teams are trying hard to make the World Cup, and this team has been in the World Cup. They've had a couple of games. Yes, they lost against Canada 6-0, and I mean that's a respectable score. But they've got their last game against Nigeria next, and they need to win that to continue on. But the simple fact that they're there representing football we're not really known. In fact, I think there was a movie made of us, a football team that was wasn't and so this will put it to rest now that we actually are a very good football nation. We're represented at the FIFA World Cup, and so 6-0 in the context of things, it looks like a big score, but I still think that for where our team is, that's a pretty respectable score.
I like the hashtag. Misa, can you just bring it back up? I like the hashtag believe us, believe WS.
Yes.
Talanoa WS.
I think it's been a bit of a theme the last few weeks. We've been talking about all our teams representing, especially going up against some of the so-called bigger teams, but we're sort of falling short. But like we're just talking, and I know we're going to be talking to Pai Tele next, but you know that Fetu team and that Toa Samoa, they had belief in it. You could tell in their face when they go. And these girls here, they do too. Look at them. You can see pictures there of them singing the national anthem, and they'll be proudly representing the blue, the royal blue out there. And they've got that belief in them. And regardless if they fall short on the scoreboard, they're still winners.
Samoa's not new to being trailblazers in the sports environment. I mean, it's good to see the soccer team, also the cricket team as well.
Yes, 100%. I think they're a little bit short on making the World Cup, but they should be proud. I think the future, some of those players are good players that they need to continue on. Some players might be tapping out, but they've left the team in good stead anyway for the future.
O mōra ke vai ko se askonga I pissing e momo au Samoa.
Ia, ele fai volta la faftai fui, magai kele kulanga lea. E fai lan kana le soka, ole voi e fio mai ko le afo. Langa le kasi le kanonga ma ko le afo Samoa le soka. O le soka Samoa ke ma long way. Ia le voi si fio anti. Ile a mesi fo na kulanga o ko mai ka. Aka ko kilo la ia ile level le mo ia ga ko. Yo ia lo la o ga ko ia kulanga mesi under 17 under.
Na ia o kenga sola.
Nga ele ia. Le kai minga makal soka ile ia nga sin fia ko la fo anti. Alo lua ia fai lo foi ma o kenga. Ele ma ken foi nga ia o kenga to la fo. Ia ai o le mera nga manga isa mo sa kele la ele nga kai kala po. Au kele nga fai au foi ko ngo o makanga luenga le malo fo le makampangi ia pe fo le wa so ia le la wa ia le o ia wala ko ia ka ke le expecting fo ngale wa kulo o lunga le level ia ka pe fo le menga sa fo la ka pi le o fo le liki le ma ke e ka ngo va ma o me ti o le liki vo ia sa mo io so
o lu fo nga
mua ma ia la ngo to sa mo ia nga mua ma ka alo la liki a Samoa le o le vanu ongo o le ia ke ninga ia ale soka ia ke ona ko mo ko va kurfa malo fo ia fa ko mai ka ia ka ko ku le ia ka o le ongo yo aungi o la ko le a ka longa o ku ngi
ia mele ka ko fa so ye e ka ko fo ye e se o kala via FIFA ya ku le aka ke kilo yo Samoa ka me ko ngu ai pa wa me mga mia o le leos o kanga kai fa ma po ia sosi ia po fa la po konga po soka kiki la kapi o liko la mga mia kanga ka ele leo ko au kengi mo kamika ro la ia ia e vola ma me kai pela o kanga ka foi el ka rengi ele ma fa we ko e festival menor ka longa por le liki, por la capi, por netball, por soca, por la so o mele na mga mia ke ka ko ke mingi ia ma popo le sosi ia ma le leila le fingol fa vai ma ka yala me o ma fa penga o ka meki ma ke ngeki ia ma fai mal por kalame ia fai ia na fe ka ko e ile nganga por kenge por kame so e malo e finga e lo ia ka ko nga fa nga ma ia ka ele ngofo le ke pio ka ko ke loi ka ko fanga ka me e fio ka fio ka me ki me e o so ko I punga I a ka valvala ku yo ai pawal me mga mia ia inga ka le fa ma po aso singi.
Can I just also acknowledge that the second person that's up high at FIFA is a Samoan lady, Sarai Beerman.
Yes,
and so she was a CEO at football in Samoa, but she is really high up, and there's not surprise that because she used to play for Samoa first before she went into the administration side, but she has certainly gone all the way up to the top office in Switzerland, and there's no surprise that our under 17 girls will be well looked after by someone like Sarai.
Ke whalua inga le saunganga ko le wha. Andy. O le mengi so se ka alunga, o le makua lea ko kangaka. Alung whanga. A le so ngo fie ia lau le wha maungi. O le oi. E whai aku la vele wawele mai kong. Ioi. E fi o le makua ngā kangaka me tutu a kangaka o mai e whai mea. A ka ringa kako. E mga o mia ngaka wha maungi. Ioi. Ai kai mingi so nga ka yo ka fa maung yo kai mi voingi a sa vo ka sa fe fa le kong yo ka vo fa pong sa vo mo yo kai mi nga le ku sa wa ka ho ka yo le mga o mi ang ka yo mai e fa nga ka mai ki mo su e la kom ka ringi ko mai on ko so se ka longa ya ka ko vai vo la sa vo a fele ki la ko ya le ka mai ki le ka ko sa mo le ko ni me amerika e se vai vo sa vo nga na ko au si so se ka longa lama ai mga sa le ko le fo mga o mia kangaka e fa maungi o mai e fai mal fa maungi awangi yo mai vo le va pe ai e ke va lele yo ngo e mo le ho chao fai la ko fa le moi yo ya mo ai e pe la ko fa le aingo yo ya alai e le o le inga vai yo o le priority le a le lenga look after ka ko players honest o makua fia ko mai ke oi e ka a wa kulona ka sisi e lo ka sa a o fe mo wanga ska ka fa pe ile mo fai ang o ke fai sa o ye yo pe ika pe fia pe alofa pe le alofa e fai ye yo nga o le kai mingi mo ka nga makua ka ko alu le channel sa o me uma inga ya mangu ye ka lo ngarum fa
o le whamaungang o la karanga whai aku o le whawhonga me whi Samoa o le ka ua i o le mea leo kako o le ka upulu kako kalango iei a fui ma le kako laulau e o le whamapoponga o asosi umangi a o ka kou ka maiki maalum whanga o Samoa on ka maiki mankengi ki ka alo manga o le whamaungang alokana e vai fole i alum whanga ui e riki ngai ma vai te kia inga le naura so skalapua ia skalia mangipsila me ka miki kako o vai de saulo ka miki ala o kula ma popo fa ma ponga e la ko faia a pena fu ka miki ngai i le o con lo plex ma au kele va pengi o ngo la ma popo faia ia vai le football ka miki e o ka alo yo le nara e ne fa ia ku con kele a me a pengo faia e manga mia ka fa ma popo ma ka faia le lei ia o le mea le sa o mete ti ka pe o le alo ka mai ka inga le con FIFA i lo fole le o le hu no o gaming ei po e ke fiu ka kami me fai ko o longa winga e ma le fia sen kule ke le o yo ai a wala ko ngo me va pengi a fai wo isa mo le alo ka mai ka sa mo ko yo paula me fai fa ma popo le so si soka sa mo i kengi ia wala me wai kalsanga koe fans ma me va penga ala i kanga ka ko ngo me e finga ua fai kulanga me va pengi
ia malova ftai to fionga ia to fa fonga mai Samoa i o to manu lupe fa le to tunu i me sa fanga tama la kapi ia o soka fo i fa pe fo kiki ta voelanga sai ia ka wanga sai you know these guys have lived it they've reached the top pinnacle of their field. So when they do talk, they have value in what they're talking about. Just before we go to break, I totally ole malo longa. To tasele ta longa le fiatalonga le fanga kamale le fushanga. Joseph Parker's match this weekend Ia ole fusuanga le lastona ine le va ia Joseph Parker ma Fabio Waterley e va pe fai UK. Ia o lastona I Britania e po la sanga ka. Ia te whata alofa tu Samoa lo mai mo whaafonga me ni itu la le aso. Ia lo tatu toi fo I mei whainga malolonga. Ia mo le tolengang whaftai I le Eveni Pacific mo le langulangu sua me tatu pokalami le sports Talanoa. Ia a to sisile tanga I mei Samoa o matu whatasi ne mo le matu malo whaalolongia. Pai tele mo le anga Jeff Brown. Ia o le presidente leo le Mana Pasifika and former president o le Rugby League Samoa. Ia malole soifua lang mama. Malole soifua maguia lo fionga.
Ia whaftai te lava fui mono, whape fui au mua ma tale fua. Me se fui la uso le a le putia o fisa, whaftai ma le mana yaso. Le mango.
Ia malo, ia. Of ko e lo sa o lo ka ko o me le kulanga o le to Samoa, whakalango inga le Rugby League Samoa. And we do have a few questions about the to Samoa match with that just happened with the Kiwis and also for two Samoa. But what was your feedback from the Saturday match, Sunday match?
I think we've been planning for years, and it's taken years to do this. For, as Rugby League Samoa, a lot of the work that's gone into preparing to play the Kiwis in Australia. We would plan to win. We didn't go in there to be second rate to New Zealand. I don't think people realise that when it's taken us 15 years from 2010 in Samoa, when I was there with Talanoa, Fufuina Suam, my General Fritz Tuevi, Lain Mako, Fain Mako Kanawanga I Samoa, Yapia. What is the vision? And we had a talk and said, let's win a World Cup. We said that just in talking in Apia, which was far-fetched, it's a big task, but you've got to put yourself in the position to have a target. So these games we're playing now against the Kiwis in Australia, they're must-wins for us. We've done 15 years. It's time now that not just our players, but our supporters in our office needs to work towards winning. So I thought we did really well. Considering, I think people forget, this is the best of the Kiwis, or the Aotearoa.
Yeah.
This is their best players. We had a lot of boys out. It's not an excuse. That team could have won, but these experienced Kiwi players, you have to give them the respect that they deserve. Ko kele keimi ko whanonga aku mako wakongo. Whamai, whakarikali lara, hey, ongasai. Lein mako keimi, so this game was a bounce of the ball. That's what won the Kiwis. If you look at the Toa versus the Kiwis, there were very small things in the game. You guys have played. A lot of you guys have played top level. It's a matter of seconds and minutes. Umaroka longa. So that there. We're just watching the centre from the Kiwis. He's a very good player. This kid.
Yeah.
He's one of the best players in the game. So we had chances. We just didn't take those chances. And I think Ben Gardner, the coach, and Leo Pepe, Nigel Vangana, Willie Poching, they can pat themselves on the back that they've now got a chance to play Tonga. And then we got, hopefully we get back to the Kiwis. So, yeah.
No whiunga pai tele, ia, polo pusa mo vole, ta aloa tamo usu. Awai fole le au Kiwi, so to tele fo o tamo o aloma whanau Samoa. Most of these guys, they came up through the system that you guys have made, because even I'm pretty sure some of our children have played in the development squad for To Samoa here in New Zealand. And you said it took 50 years to lay out this plan.
15 years, yeah. I've been on for 15 years.
15
with
years.
With Fritz and Sua. Fritz asked me in 2009 and 10, and I said, yeah, if I got the time. And we've worked on junior development. On me mo mua ngā makukana ngō Samoa. Ele mawhai malosi le okele le malosi kamaki. The kids coming through. So, 2010, we played the Kiwis here in Auckland. We lost 56-6 to the Kiwis in 2010. And I was part of their management it wasn't a great score, but we then flew to Tonga. We flew to Sydney and played Tonga the following week, and we changed the camp. Shorter camp. Lawaki took over. Everybody else had to take a back step, and we said, "Fa Samoa mea. Let's go with Fa Samoa ways." The NRL way didn't work for us. We did everything the NRL way, and we got a 56-6 score against the Kiwis at Mount Smart. And we changed and went to Sydney, and the Tongan team was a very strong Tongan team. We won that game, and we had one local boy. That's the other thing we had. We had a winger that missed. We had a winger missing, and we named one of the local boys from Samoa, and he was probably one of the first to play.
I remember that one.
Yeah, he was the winger. Yeah, Paseni, Daniel Paseni was our winger that day. So yeah.
Yes, I lay up if I've got for you. So on for you, my we found a long walk. So on a bye. Yeah, why? On the level of Kalong, they all know the national level. You are coming among a professional player. Yeah, and the color and our professional competition. A kofuma, our system, culture. I go for Casino to Samoa, I can pay for Samoa. Yes, a full culture, a caco, and Makwai. Po fea lava na kalapo sa welcome ki e ka ua na mo vinga kongo ka ko. E pe vo Samoa mai ke le me le Samoa ia tsa pa pa te. Ine fe inga mo ka lo mer ki le lima su kongo le. Ia na lu al system fo le va en out me le fa ia la kapi ia liki. Ya ke ko fo ilo ka lo ka lo mo ko suilo. Nga mai kong la waki fai mea kau sui kau kumai la lo le alu lo pokala me il costo fa Samoa kusal kumai le kong me le ngu me va pinga ko ka kong mo le nganga ko meki ile va pinga lo lo ka lungan malai e ko akele yo ka ngakale ke represent lungan malai o lo ainga lo ngu me va pinga ia mala mai il ka u lo bala winga ma me va pinga le nga ko malo ya ko nga pai Mo ka sui a ko inga ma aka ki kilo la menga lo ka pe me nang sa ngo me la waki lenga o ka ua ia ole ku ole ngu nga ma ka changa I ko ka ko to Samoa le volanga pe sa le ia sa ngo le pai ma le sa ngo ia mo titi ia on the day ole mo ka ko le pounds le polo ole fiki ma ka ko ya wa fa penga la le ngole o ka long level foi or say kongi oko sekele. You gotta make a decision split of a second. Ke moanga de polo ke score la ke manga ke punga la every moment and narrow my la longa de balu sulmi ke ka longa ma le fia ke mi a ko e prepare. Ko fo le ko la facili fui ka wa ia ka ko au to Samoa. Pe na fun mang Samoa. O se au la ma Samoa. Ka wa ia le ia la ngu ka ko le menga mo di ko kong ia le ko kong le mix me
Can I just ask a question there for Pai? One of the real key things for me from the start of when you had your meeting with the journal is the player recruitment to come from either Kiwis for Australia to come to Samoa, and then we've got another one, Hamiso. He's going to come in and he's made himself, announced it on the bus that he's going to play for Samoa at the World Cup. The hammer. I mean, that's not an easy thing. And we're talking about, we said, even with Lawaki last week, we're dealing with millionaires.
Yeah.
They can choose where they go, but they want to come back to Samoa.
Absolutely.
How does those discussions come about? How do you start those discussions?
I date back to when we first were in Samoa, 2010, 11, and no one wanted to play for us. We had to ring parents, ring families. Also, it was hard work, but we're lucky Nigel was with us at the time and he had access to a lot of the players. But I say this with respect to what we have back home. When we played Tonga that day and Talanoa Paseni played for us, you would have thought he was NRL. You wouldn't have known any different. And I said this to Fritz we have to build back home. Leika Miki Samoa, they can play this level. We just got to be more regular.
Yeah.
You know, more regular with e koi mai au New Zealand, ma Australia, Samoa, ka alo whakasi, whamasangi, get used to that level. That's it. And so we're now in a different space. The kids are lining up. You know, Hammer played for us at the World Cup, got injured. And, you know, he's one of the best players in the game. You know, but he's a proud Samoan now. You know, we've got more to come. Tino. You know, Tino, he's Australia, but I'm sure there'll be an opportunity for him to represent his ainga. So it's been a journey to get players, but at the same time, we're not going to get everybody. So we always say this, you know, awake papori ka make kilo mai. Stick with the ones that are prepared to back us. So that Kiwi team on Saturday, there were 9 Samoans, 5 played for us.
That's right.
E iwa ka miki Samoa sa ka alum Kiwis. E lima lako sa ka alum makako au laiki, makako au kele. So, you know, Samoa's in a really good position. And I think, like you said, Ofisa, we've just got to keep working with this generation. They're different, you know. So,
is money ever a part of a conversation?
You know,
they'll come, we'll play, but we want this. Is it ever?
To be honest,
it doesn't seem that way, but I don't know.
It used to be their livelihood. When 2011, 12, 13, it was a struggle to get players, but I think players now see that they're well looked after in the NRL. And this is my time to give back to my mum, my dad,
to give back culture,
my grandparents. So I ask players, you know, do you want to come play for Grandpa? I don't just say Samoa. Do you want to represent your parents? And that's what we ask them.
E whainga ngā waksa o Mangola ka ki I lunga fola le, ka ua ia. Ka whaonga vere fo ia Samoa, pe vere Chile TT, ia al kupe. Ia of course al kupe kalunga wala ka ko Europe al kupe. E pau ko velu ngeo la kungu. E sel ka ua le mele la ngu. Pe vong sa ungo pa kele. Pe velu men ka kalunga malawaki. O ka miki Samoa, o le uska I mākua, e whaalonga mākua. Pe alu ka miki molong ko kala ke 4 milionga po la lava a fa ko ka mama ki nga vai sa kama
sa
ia lofa mai e sa we ke alu ke ka kua ile au asamo kongi sa ma o mele le fai e alu ngin fanga la ko me ko ngale le fai e mo ila o ku nele mai e kongi la ko mai e fai la ko o ka ua I o mele e pe la o sika longa ia e la ve mal ka ko au vole e pe mo fa mo kupe era e doing the opposite on me ia le e ai va ka wala le ia ka ko le ka ngongi ai o le fa mo ka making ai o le ave la ka ku I la ko I men fa vai mai ai ma la ko ma ku ku se fo ia la ku ke le ia la mele
I just think that signing of Payne Haas is just incredible. I just think that's probably one of the best signings in the history of Samoa sport. I mean, this man is clearly the best in the world.
Yeah.
He is the #1 prop in the world, and he chose to play for Samoa. And I just give all credit to all those people that made that happen.
O ngai ke le longa I se ngo kula fongo international liki mo international la kapi o sai ki ke le la kapi ngo kula fongo I o me ko kala ke le nga I me a le liki na ko so kwa la e open ia kama na ko so le fa na ko na competition e le pe na le yungi ma kwa Manu si ke le room mai le world rugby me le o jump over for ngani swing o kungu I kalo so pe ole se senga langa ole mene e fa ka vinga fa unga kamai ne na piu ole nga fo ole fish switch ya ai sai ki ai I kulanga pe la ole liki ole ngale lenga liki fo le ole o fa pe nga o open na ko kula fongo ele o ise maru si le fo na fa ngo fi fo na a wona le o fa nga e pa tele mo le mai la to fo yo o le ko ui o wala I o matua yo pe na fa ngo fi nga ia tūlanga le linga mā popoli le ia le tātou liki. E peo lawa uia ngā kau kilo fo le le senga. A le nganga fo ia kama so se kalunga, o fi ka alu ia ka miki so se kalunga. Ile ngā la kapi mo le liki. Ia a peo fufuanga o kulahunga ia ingo o kongalake ma.
Te loa au mua, e le whaatata mai pai tele. I melenga loa, le sau no mai fo e tole a fo. O le tami atu lea I mātua. That's one way. And the other way as well, me sa mo mātua, ena whanau I nei, whiola nei. Nisho tato uso, wonga le identity crisis. Because, we can't blame them nanga e fua mai le environment leo la mai ei. A whape ola mai le tumtiti maa, lo sit whasa mo tung la inga matu e fua, o loa tala ma upu ma winga whaalia I mere ia tangata lo tele. But mo nai uso ia mato whawhine who don't have access to the culture. The system that Pai Tele and his committee has done is it's also promoting our culture. Going back to Officer, to JT, you went to play the Manu Samoa for your mom and dad, yeah? Well, what was that like, representing it for mom and dad?
Oh, that was my first international team. And, there was no other team. And to play in Apia Park, play, with Toya 4 and Aotearoa, To'o, and, some of the other greats, Apollo Perilini, Tene Kaliopa, Fats, of course, and Darren Kallett, and our backline with even Lolangi Koko, may he rest in peace.
So, o ngā kongo, sorry JT, just to cut you off there, o ngā kongo lai mo me ka miki a liki le aunga ngā that these guys, like what Pai Tele was saying, was it a few years back, they didn't want to play for Samoa.
A long time ago, it was ele masangi, that's what we talk about.
I would never feel a young in man. Mole kwale whafkairo whiunga Pai Tele. Just one more question for Mana Pacifica. We did hear a bit about it this year. Well, now you're the president sitting here. Take us through this.
Well, Ole Mana Pacifica is obviously an extension of the work done by all the nations, Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, and even the New Zealand Māoris. We had a whongo and we saw that, the Warriors had a great team. 30 years in the game. Ole hele awango makufanga with the Warriors, but they were still by Australians, E whakau mo osi se o mai e ka alo mo le au o le Warriors. And a lot of our people have played through it. A lot of the Samoan players played, the Tumavaves and Tatupus and Okisinis and Solomona, all of them came through the system, even Nigel and the rest of them. But in 30 years, I played in the 80s. So I Carlo in the 80s, I played both Prem Rugby and Prem League when I was in high school. And what I looked at was, man, we're the athletes that they want, Pacifica. So I thought, well, why are we working or giving everything to the Warriors when we're here when we should have our own team? So myself and a couple of guys, an advisor, Jim Doyle was an advisor he was advising us. He said, let's put a bid in and let's go out there and, see if we can put a team together in Okilangi being the largest Pacifica base, because Okilangi is still the biggest Pacifica base. Yes. So we did a meeting with Eden Park. They jumped on board, backed the bid. Eden Park wants Mana Pacifica to be based at Eden Park. The Mayor of Auckland, these men, he's the Mayor of Auckland, he's backing the bid. But more importantly, it's about our Kongus, all our Pacifica families. Auckland is still the largest, and I think, we want to take the game around the Pacific. So part of the bid was to play a game in Apia Park, play one game in Tuwhaiwha, in Tonga, and International Stadium, Cook Islands. So I flew to these islands and put the bid in front of them, and we got support from all of them. Even got support from Samoa Rugby League, which was, Poni and Tuilolo, and the government. So we've done the work. We did the submission in February. We submitted to the NRL early February, and now it's just money, investment, and also the NRL, their timing around putting more teams in the NRL. So that's where we're at the moment.
Ale to level no le initial to members. I want to ask the question because it's a common question that we normally ask on a panel. Can the system that Tō Samoa works on work for Manu Samoa?
I got a phone call from someone in Samoa about 6 months ago, and from o le whasilinga pai, what can we do with the Manu? And I said, the Manu is the biggest brand we've ever had. And you were part of that. Each of you here were part of that. But if we don't go early, the foundations, I think it's hard to, especially with the rugby being global, it's the window of availability. I'm a realist. If the players aren't available, then we have to build another foundation. So that's why I said with Samoa, and I've said this to, even Fritz and those guys, but you've got to work together. Even Matthew Vaya, I caught up with Matthew Vaya, Mako Talanoa, so everything's doable, but there's a lot of work to be done. Like we've put a lot of time into developing our junior program for tour. It's not just Auckland, it's Wellingkongi, Christchurch, Leimako, Queensland, New South Wales. I think in total we have over 5,000 players for Samoa between all those regions, cities. So the Manu, to me, it would be a lot easier to develop because the Manu has been the pinnacle of Samoa for years. It's just a matter of putting the time in.
The people to...
That's it. The talent's there. We just got to stop them playing for the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
O mua, o tāronga tātou le vāsune o le awa matamatonga. Yeah, te lo for te leo I think all of you guys have played against Tonga. The history goes way back. Yeah.
Anything o fie fo. O le me ola mai konga ai ke wala ko ia ko ka ko ko mo pili ka ko to sa. Ole ia ka ko ia ke me sa wa ma lo ko o le wiki mo ni ia misia mo ia al ka lo le mo ko. Se pa war me le mai ta masi yo se yo ku ia le to ia ole ke le mo ka ko wa ki san la fo ko ma lu si ka ko ka ma la nga ma ole si me vo la ma mi ka vo ne reading a luai o me nga le mo vai fo nga mi si le weekend le reading a le uri ia luai isi ke mi nga ke le nga ma su wai ta mi ku la pe nga ai ki kilo ho le a flow la ko le ia se hitting le ho so fa mo feel mo read ta ku le ne ko nga ka lo la ka lo luai a wo mi si na question le ile ka longa le wa ka singa ka ma sang ni la wo ye le reading on
TT, game against Tonga this week.
Yeah, I see the similarities with the Tonga rugby team. I saw some shots of them back preparing in Tonga, and the king is involved, and then they had the ceremony too. I think a lot of people are taking a lot of inspiration from the king, or instructions, one or the other. If the king says something, you do it. But you can see they're a very united team. So, like Samoa, they're going back to the roots and going back to their culture in front of the king, getting instruction, and then trying to translate that onto the football field. In terms of league, they've got great individuals, like Samoa, like Kiwis, but it's about bringing those individuals together to connect and make their combinations for a team. I think that one game that we had against the Kiwis is good, hold us in good stead, but it'll still be a tough game because, at Suncorp, they're calling out for all the red flags to come out, all those Tongans to come out of their homes and come to support, but hopefully we'll get a fair share of blue flags out there, but it's going to be one hell of a game.
Tula fo o va ai ko le ka no ngale ko ma Samoa pesili ko ka no ngale lo ka no New Zealand ma Samoa, and it's always like that every year. I feel like the game between Tonga and Samoa is the origin comparison. Because everyone's looking forward to that. You know, Tonga comes in heavy. They come in pack with a squad, and so it's going to be an interesting game this Sunday.
Yes, I'll lay up. Ka kong foi o skalong mai. Ya e ma lor to. Ka wa ye ma lor to la foi mai mo mai foi le. Foi a nga ma lo un kam fa nga ya me se foi. Ai e ka wa ya lo fam kalanga le e pe o le sa mo pa pa e me a pe kalong le man. E kilo ai lunga. Okay, lor ke mingi ya ka ko ile nga solonga mar kulanga lo ya ia au ngelo. O kau foi ka ko kungu o nga avekele ka ko langolango to sa mo ke mingi e ka o ke ka o mai mo mia foi ya wa pe nga fa ya ku ya fa ringa la u konga ye ka lango mo le kupu ka lango la kungu o mai fa ya fa lo longa ma me foi e ku le ngala ko au me ya o la val nenga ka kier fa ko konga ya lu e konga e le pus nga I konga ka o le mea whangai mga mia ka kungu whape foi ka ko umalawa I Samoa po New Zealand po Australia po whialolang ia ever ka ko langolango e mesivar ka ko kalor ka ko to Samoa a sao leia wa ko kele foi o ka ko Samoa e ngongo foi konga you know a lor ka malo o konga o le whawhinge o konga whapenga o le ka longa le las konga e mau ki ngoa e mo ese e mau ki ngoa e mo ese lungani awa ole mamau nga ma nga ia lo karong e o e sa ole ia nga pia ka alo ka ko makong e ia le mer nga e alo lua ka kier ku la fongol palangi ku e pingi ya o lua ma la ko e ia lua me mo ko ngwa e fa inga yo ka ko ka sue malo fai ka ko ala uso konga foi ia e ka ia le ngo ka inga ka ko pe ka alo lo makonga ka ko ka lo pe sa ngo chi o mai fo ka lo le ma kiwi pe e ma kwa yes ala ka lo la ku la menos ko kan ko mai tem ko mai sa mo pa me nga mi ala fa ngau o ko ka lo ma ka po inga e mang malo ka ko fa mo e me se ka ko so konga o vo ngi ngalo ka ko so pastika me va pe ia ele le am fel fang ia malo pe ka ko
But can I just ask one question? I know that you were involved with in helping out with the Fitu Samoa girls, and they had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But I saw there was King Kapisi who did some jersey presentation. Pritchard was there, really good coaching staff. But they got off to a fantastic start, but it just sort of, you know,
they're in really good position at the moment. Jamie Soward is the coach.
Yeah,
yes.
So 3 years ago, I contacted him through some other NRL coaches, and he actually gungied when he took the job. So it wasn't just a job. He got emotional. His wife was, emotional about it. Being Aboriginal, Apariki, he's also understanding, culture.
The culture, yeah.
But he's got Frank Pritchard, Kyle Stanley, two of our, Kamasā Mosaka.
Yeah.
And he's got his own people, so they're in a good position. I think for Fitu, they can win everything if they don't beat themselves. They've just got to play their natural game.
Yeah.
So they were up 20-0, and the bounce of the ball gave the Kiwis the game. That's all it was. All their tries were off
Mistake.
the bounce of the ball, yeah. And you know that.
Yeah.
It's a matter of opportunity. So I'm sure against Australia, the girls will turn up, but they've just got to go another level. Because it's Australia. For the tour, I know the boys can win. It's really up to them and how they control their emotions.
Yeah.
Because emotions can.
Don't get.
The emotion. I played sport too. You got to take the emotion and play the game. And the boys have got the players and the talent.
Yeah.
And they're backing Samoa now. So
it's almost like hard to do when you got. I can imagine that the stadium going to be packed and loud.
Sold out. Like they're near sold out now. So there's going to be the biggest crowd. And you saw the fan day, right? The fan day of Brisbane. Oka. Maloa, yeah, Christian Brown, ma Penio Mata, the fan day in Brisbane.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of support back in Brisbane. I'm hoping we get 2 wins.
Papa Tele, is Leniu available on the weekend?
Yeah, I wish he was, and that's what I said to you. There's still players to come.
Yeah.
So, for World Cup, that's what we we measure ourselves on World Cups. That's what you can't measure it on winning one game and then
He's one of a hard player that
he o langa inga sa his family's from Okilangi.
But all in all as well, the match between Samoa and Tonga is really giving a lot of credit and profit to NRL, because this is the game where people want to watch. And moving forward as well with the Mana Pacifica, because if I define it, it's like Moana Pacifica for the 15th. Would you be looking to recruit players from the Pacific?
Yes. We want to be set up in Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, even Niue, Tokelau. Fiji had their own bid. Fiji had their own, so we didn't work with them. But now that the bids have been completed, we will fly to Fiji and Talanoa with them as well. Really, it's we want the best players, and some of them are living in the islands. Some of the best athletes are living in the islands, and we need to bring them here.
Ke pe wala makanga le Auckland Warriors so.
So
Pe ka le ko fa pe ko lima kama ka alo NRL ko ke leo kama kalapu. Ia le fusuanga Joseph Pakama Fabio. Ia se Fabio ko ka kongunga pe so pakamakenga pe.
Ia le manga ia fo yo orkua ko wale o e ka ko kes leo pai che wa kasi fo le ka le ngi le usongi wa e umalong ka ko ka pi ko fa fu so ngai fa ale mo ko un malai mo fa fo
mo kua
mo kua il ko langa ia ka wi le swanga male kam fa fo ya o ese le condition wo ye le kingo o lo so fo ya lo so ya la kumla campeón penal. Okay, lo ia kai pe so se sports lava le visi le fia lo so ngi ia porque kongo me uma. Ia o wal visi la mo ko ku lava ngo ya lo so ia fusi o le fusi o lo langi ia. Ia la fe kamil milo o ngol me vo o ki la ko. Pe o ka ye le me pe ko fa fe le ku langa wo ye le condition fo le o kam ia ai o so anga le inge va yeso ia e mo ko okay lo por kamisanga ale o fa por le lima fa uma lo e o que la kama le ya ya lo psolia o la uianga que lo ya
Papatel.
I think Joseph gaming I think Samoa Talanoa, everyone's fearing him. No one wants to fight him. There's a reason for that. So I think I think Joseph just needs to go out there and do his normal routine. He's got a very strong camp. Let's see now. He's representing all of Pacifica, not just Samoa.
True.
So I believe he'll do the job. It's really up to him, but I think in 4 rounds, I think he can do it in 4 rounds.
O mo afa pe mon malo I just
Sama
afa pe mon malo I le pesolo ai I le talonga le ma Fabio. That would mean that he fights Usyk next.
Ele ma fainga lui Usyk e o mai a. Ema pena foi mai. Ma ga fasili fui. O levanga makwa levanga fa kali le alonge o ka ko ngo le ki fa mo mo le wa uya wa ko I o levanga fio ai peila o le la ku I le fio Joseph Parker is kamale ya o le inga fa ka ngo le fa mo mo o Joseph o levanga fa kali le sia mo
o fa le ma pai
e la o le ngo o le ngo o mai la kamale o le o pero tengo fa wa levanga fa kali le alongo sa ya fa ka yo le wa fa ka ngo ya a maka kui ya a lo ko lo la ya le au mai le fusi la fa ka ni yo ai o ke por ko ke se mo fa san ku ya
Yeah, I think Usyk is the goal, and that's where. But I just think Joseph Parker he doesn't want to rest too long because there's a lot of people that have pulled out of fights, and he just wants to keep that momentum going. Plus, also pull up the ranks. to be the number one contender for him. But he's fighting a lot of orthodox boxers. There's not too many southpaw boxers that he needs to fight against. That's who he needs. He needs lefties, so he can really prepare for the big one. And that's where Usyk gets a lot of them, because you're not too masangi to the southpaw boxers. But I just think that with Joseph, just the more fights he keeps on going, that will prepare him for it. But he has to be careful, because everybody's got a punch. And you just got to be quite careful that you don't take it, don't be too complacent, but still come in with your game like you're going to fight for the world championship. Because one knockout or one loss, and then he's right back down to the bottom of the chain. But I'm confident, like you guys, he'll do the job. It's just be careful, just be mindful that he's got a punch too.
Yes, I believe Joseph is on a different level, but it's a little song JT, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah,
but I think
don't get me wrong. I'm just sort of an advocate of how it could potentially go wrong, and we've all seen Buster Douglas and Tyson fights. When you thought that it was just going and it was going to happen, and it just. It was sort of the beginning of the end for Tyson. So
we got 4, 4, 6. What's your round?
First round.
You me. Look.
Yeah. I was just watching him there. I thought, that's a first round.
I believe that's a wrap. Just before we go, I want to say all the best to Samoa, and also to Samoa. Also to Joseph Parker and every Samoan and Pacific team that's playing this weekend. We wish you guys all the best. And the soccer and our cricket team.
Yeah, ngava fo mo Samoa, o mai ia mako po kalamias, pakan goinga fo iole. Ni vai ngol Talanoa, ni mako lo ngai la fio mai fui fa pe fo ia mato malo fa lo ngai pa pateli. Ia JT fa pe fo ia mo ia. Ko fa fo me fo mako fa soa I ka longa umanga ka kuai fo I ma a fua ngai ka ko walom fanga I liki to Samoa fa pe fo tu Samoa o le soka na 17 ia me se fo I lo mai o le kam fai le fusoanga le alo fo I Samoa ia lupso le ai Joseph Parker ia malkele lava o ka penganga uma o isi ka longa Samoa ia ma kilo fo I ingia wala ko Puka inga foi le ngaka kam ka alo a me se foi la ko lo I laula uma po kongo asosi kai ko kasi ia mau kuma le leika penganga me uma ia ma popo awa o ngia me uma e ka ume anu malai po kongo le mai ia kulang ka penganga male aka foi me uma le la sa mo mga mia ia la ka lo malo ka kwa I ka ko to Samoa ka ko tu Samoa ka ko an 17 soka ia mai se lup so I ai malanga alo aku fusuanga le kako I ruki ngai ia mo ke ngai ma ko lau ma ke fa ko fa ka lo fa kwai ke ko uma fa ko fa soifu
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 Naro